Hello everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene. Today we're going to redo a video that I did yesterday that I did not upload. And the reason I didn't upload it was, number one, I sounded like a raving maniac. And I sounded horrible physically because of my throat. Because of screaming at the top of my lungs. So we're going to attempt to redo the video with a more calm, cool, and collected explanation of the stories that we're talking about. The first story has to do with a woman from Australia. Her name is Sky Simpson. Sky Simpson is a 30-year-old from Australia. She's got type 1 diabetes. And she decided that one of the ways to help lose weight was not to take her insulin, so that her body would have to use her body fat to make, instead of using blood sugar, which would be normally available to her body. Now, we talked about this briefly, about what insulin does, and how insulin works with the liver when it's too much blood sugar to create through a process called, let's just go with converts sugar to fat. Okay, I don't remember the technical name, so I'm not going to go through and try to come up with a name that may not be the right term. The problem with type 1 diabetes is you're insulin dependent. This is very different than insulin resistant. And the woman did not talk to her doctor about doing this, which was a mistake, okay? She decided on her own, with no medical counsel, no recommendations from any specialist, to do this. She started by cutting her morning injection out of her daily medication regimen. And she kind of got hooked on the thought that now she was starting to lose weight. At the same time, her blood sugar was running a little bit high. Now, if you know anything about the way the human body works, you know that the system needs insulin to help metabolize blood sugar into the cells. Otherwise, your body's going to try to get rid of the blood sugar whenever way you can. Most common ways through urination and also through expiration, such as breathing. So, as we get more and more blood sugar in our blood, it starts to get harder to get through smaller capillaries of the body. So she did this for a period of 6 months. Was it 6 months? I don't think it was 6. I think it was 6. No. Yeah, maybe 4 months. 4 months. And she was not morbidly obese by any stretch of imagination. She is 5 foot 8 inches tall. Okay? 5'7". And prior to this, she weighed about 160 pounds. So she wasn't skinny, okay, at all. But as she herself said, I'm too lazy to diet and to go on an exercise program. Now, the cost for her behavior was she destroyed her eyesight. She destroyed her blonde hair. She's mostly bald now. She destroyed all of her teeth. She now has to have false teeth because her real teeth are gone. Because of gingivitis and periodontal disease and other things. So in other words, the cost, the only thing she didn't end up doing was dying. Okay. Now, of course, she could have done other damage too, which we do not know that the Fox News article did not mention. Me and Dory have talked about her situation, which is different. And one of the things that I told Dory is that you need to work with your doctor and find a better way to regulate your blood sugar, because this is getting out of control. It keeps increasing your insulin and it's not doing any good. At least Dory understands that I'm trying to tell her the right thing to do. So anyway, the point is Mrs. Sky Simpson, I have no empathy for you, for your action. I don't think it was a good call on your part. I think it was a mistake. And I think that you endangered yourself. You destroyed your body, which was a loaner from Mother and Father God. And now you have to accept, when the time comes to return your body to its rightful owners, that you're going to have to pay penalties for the damage that you did to the body. Now, it's your Mother and Father God can make anybody correct again, but it's not the point. After all, we know that there are people, because of accidents and mistakes, that have lost arms and limbs, and their bodies, when you go home to the other side, are made good as new. You're totally rebuilt. It's just like the Serpro commercial says, like nothing ever happened. You got a whole new fresh start. Now, in my case, when I was talking with Dr. Lemon Bio, one of the things I talked to him was about the simvastatin results. And he confirmed that there was no gain when using the simvastatin as far as my cholesterol goes. And I said to him, well, if I'm not gaining anything by this, and except increasing the risk of Alzheimer's disease, it's not worth taking the pills. And even he had to agree with me on that. It didn't make any sense to keep taking the pills if it's not going to do any positive benefits. Since I stopped taking the simvastatin, my legs, my muscles in my my left leg have improved. They don't hurt anymore. I'm able to do more things. And I think that was a great thing. But in my case, I did the right thing. I talked to my doctor. I didn't just quit cold turkey. Now, next news article has to do with some questions about Michelle Obama. Is she a man or a woman or what? Let me tell you, I don't really care, personally, one way or another, what she is. Okay? I don't really know her very well, and I only know that she's the first president. She's the first lady of the White House. That's all I know. I don't go into detail on people's personal life. Is she a hermaphrodite? I don't know. Is she a man dressed up as a woman in drag? I don't know. Is Lady Gaga a man dressed up as in drag? No, she's a hermaphrodite. In fact, one of her videos, she even said so. What about me? I'm a hermaphrodite too, but that doesn't make me a bad person. Okay? But what I'm concerned too about is, I mentioned all this about the hermaphrodite things, is that for those of us who have a medical condition, as documented as such, we've been hearing about this war of the bathrooms. And I gotta admit that I find it to be a little bit over the top. In the state of North Carolina, Governor McCrory created an edict saying, quote, "You are to use the bathroom of your biological sex." Obama saying is, no, that's not good enough. You should be able to use the bathroom of your gender. But the problem with Obama's policy is he's not requiring the people to have documentation to prove their claim. He's just acting as if it's no big deal. The problem is, it is a big deal because there's a lot of people in this world who want to cause harm. And there's a lot of us that don't. It's the ones that are going to try to cause harm, the small proportion of the people of the world. They're going to go into that men's room, a woman, horrible looking thing, skanky bitch, going to go in there, and she's going to try to do things to little boys, sell crack, sex, sell prostitution, whatever. Likewise, someday some creepy old man's going to come into the ladies' room and it's going to start trying to do the same thing. Over and over again, I hear these men on these forums defending their children and saying is, if any woman hurts my daughter, there's going to be hell to pay. That's great, but you know what? Here's the problem. I don't hear too many women saying is, if my son or my husband is accosted by a skanky bitch in the men's room, I'm going to fight for what is rightfully my husband and my son's privacy. The truth is, we need to stand up for each other. We need to work together. We need to kill this dragon before somebody gets hurt. People like myself that are documented, and we are genuine. We're true. We're not going to hurt your kids. We just go into the bathroom to do what we got to do, and then we leave. It's not us you have to fear. But I can tell you, I've seen a lot of things in the world that I do not like. And that we as a people of this world need to say, no, I'm not going there. I'm not tolerating that. And so every public school system in the United States should stand up to President Obama's edict and say, no, not in my school system. You're not doing that here. And that's what you should be doing. Don't let him threaten your funding and stuff like that. If that's the price in order to be truly free of his tyranny, is not to accept money from the federal government, so be it. I know it's hard for the Department of Education and different titles and everything to pay for schooling now, but there has to be somebody who's willing to stand behind the truth and not fall for the political baloney that goes on every day. I love everybody, and I want everybody to be happy. And so I'm saying is that we need to fight for what's right and protect our children from things that are not so right. Now, that doesn't make it easy for hermaphrodites or transgendered. But we have documentation. We have medical confirmation that proves what we are. We have files. You can go to my file, my medical documents, and you can read it. It's out there. It's not secret. It's documented. Okay? It's just that we need to stand behind the truth, not fall for the great dog and pony show that Obama wants to turn into. Last thing I mentioned last night, and I got really angry on it, we're going to try and approach this again, try to keep it level-headed. Obama wants, after this has been tried several times under President Clinton in 2012 as well, to get reintegrate the blacks and the whites in the burbs, in the suburbs, and get them out of the inner city. To do that, his housing officer, which his last name is Castro, believe it or not, no relation to Fidel Castro as far as we know. He wants to increase the amount of voucher money available to inner city families to move out into the burbs. Now, that doesn't sound so bad, except for one problem, which no one seems to be talking about. A lot of them bring problems, as has been demonstrated on the Clinton program and the 2012 program. They bring roaches, they bring crime, they bring drugs, they bring depression, unemployment, disillusionment, prostitution, drug running, all this stuff, because it's the only thing they know. And even if you get out into the burbs, the problem is usually you need transportation to get to work. Well, most of them barely can afford to pay rent. I don't think they're going to be able to afford to pay for a car. And there's no mass transit. So therefore, how are you going to get things done? You can't. Which is going to alienate those people even more so. Another thing that's going to alienate them even worse is they're trying to push regulation to the food stamp program that says that food stamps will no longer be honored by convenience stores. Now, there's been several news articles on this and what would happen if that happened. For so many people, the local 7-Eleven, Cumberland Farms, DB Mart, or Valero is known as now, may be your only choice of food. Because of transportation issues again. They keep picking it up, keeps coming up. So if you're telling people now that they can't use their food stamps to go grocery shopping where they can conveniently get food, that's not going to work at all. However, I will say this in defense of the food stamp program. What they could do, and they should do, is encourage these participating sellers, merchants, to carry more healthy food options on their menu somehow. Yes, that would work. I've always constantly said the same thing. If the food choices were available and I had a better selection of options, I would have been more than likely to check them as a first choice. But that's not the case. And unfortunately, for a lot of people like myself, we have to take what we got available to us. Good or bad. Now, today I went to Primetime House, and I did finally find the article that I published in the Prime Scribe, and I'm going to read this to you. Okay? And please note, I sent the original version of this to the Donald Trump campaign headquarters. The version is slightly modified in the sense it doesn't have my U.S. mailing address in it and phone number, whereas the original does. I have not heard from Donald Trump's people yet. Maybe the transition team that's going to be trying to get him ready for the White House might pick this up eventually. I don't know. So let's get started. Letter to Mr. Donald Trump by MicheleMarieDalene. I would like to ask a question about those who have disabilities. I am legally blind. I am not stupid. I have a very high intelligence. Yet, I have not had any luck finding work. We both know that Social Security is a disgrace and makes us feel terrible, as we feel we are pinned down and unable to achieve, quote, the American dream. I am trying very hard to start a small YouTube media outlet and have very few subscribers and even less donators to help keep my channel running. My teeny disability income is being used to finance my YouTube channel operating budget. This leaves very little for fun and food. I have been doing videos on YouTube since May of 2011. I have over 700 videos. It has been a very hard road. I often have to hold equipment together with masking tape as the low-cost Chinese equipment falls apart. Like you, I have a Shure SM57 microphone. I don't have the windscreen for it, however. These American design microphones are expensive, and I really would like to get a few more, as the low-cost Chinese microphones, such as the Pile PD-Mic-1, fell apart to the types of abuse you can expect from video work. If you win, would you consider donating your equipment to someone who can greatly use it? You can find my YouTube channel at http://www.youtube.com/bicachela4. And if anyone has technical AV equipment that would like to donate to the cause, you can reach Michelle D. care of Pipedon House in Torrington. Now, speaking of prime time, I went there today, and I did meet up with Lisa Croft, and we had a wonderful time. I had a wonderful lunch, and I invited her over to the studio when she's not busy to come over here and do a video with you and me and Lumi, right? I didn't mention you. I'm sorry, Lum. Well, it's okay. I got a question for you, though. Okay. Now, what is your intention for the next few months? Well, the next few months is... Let's see. Down there somewhere. I'm not going to go take it for right now. I'm going to go get the renters rebate this year. And we are going to do everything we can, get the maximum allowed by legitimate means, and then we're going to use that money to pay some bills off, in addition to using some of that money to upgrade some of the equipment that's broken. Okay, so we're going to fix things. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do just that. We're going to fix the equipment that's broken. We're going to make it right somehow. And what about you? You. I don't know. We talked a lot of different ideas. I really thought about myself. What you want to do? What's your dreams? I think we need to focus more on the spirituality side of things a little bit, because I think this world really needs to hear more of the truth that's going on outside in the world. There's a lot of misunderstood facts of what is going on and what is right. Yeah, I think you're right. And I think after we totally get over this sore throat thing, you and I will work on that. And we're going to have to come up with another video for this week coming up for that cable channel. Right. So we'll have to work on that. Yes, we do. So what is your thing? What is the most special thing? I think the most special thing is the fact is that you are an extremely intelligent individual when it comes to technical expertise, and you have done many wonderful things, and you have come a long way from those early years of uncertainty. Yes, Michelle has issues in life too. I mean, we know that 48 years old, Michelle's not going to live forever. But one of the most important things is I noticed with Michelle is her dedication to trying to provide the truth and information that is honest and factual and things like that. And that takes a lot of preparation and study and guts to do that. And Michelle loves you in ways that no one else can ever do. Sure, Michelle is not perfect, but no one is. And in the last few years, Michelle has continued to work on perfecting her techniques and her ways to reach out to the audience. How many times have you turned on Michelle's video, almost like a bedtime story, and fall asleep with it playing? I know Michelle does. A lot of times she dozes off her own videos, but it's because she likes to rethink of what she said and memorize the facts for another time. She might need to go back and pull up that video clip in the future. It takes a lot of patience to do what she does, and I'm proud to be a co-inhabitant with Michelle. And I've seen this person go from barely unsure how to express her feeling in front of a microphone to going out there and just speak for hours and months and days, video after video, on topics that bother her or inspire her. Yeah, I know she sounds terrible right now, but she will overcome that. As long as she doesn't keep screaming into the microphone. It's true. That's definitely true. No reason why you should ruin your vocal cords by screaming at the top of your lungs. This microphone is fairly sensitive as it is. I don't think you have to scream at the top of your lungs anyway. So, if you guys could put some consideration into subscribing into this channel, or make some donations. Price of a soda, price of a coffee, whatever. All you have to do, if every person contributed $1, $1 each month, that would make a heck of a difference And we'll be able to seriously start upgrading when equipment that needs to be replaced or repaired that is falling apart. And that's all you have to do. It's that simple. Back to Michelle. Thanks, Silvermoon. And that information on how you can make a contribution is at the end of this video. And I hope to hear from you soon. And I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody. Bye, guys.